Nice crowd has gathered. Again, there are gaps on either corner of the stadium as we get that beautiful picture from our cameraman who's perched up on one of the floodlights, Alex. And the Welsh side, well, they were talking earlier about the inexperience of this Welsh side, but Griffiths, Williams and Davis form a very, very tough front row. The side will now be captained by Kingsley Jones in the absence of Rob Howley, and it's at half-back where Arwell Thomas and Paul John will provide the experience in the backlines. A big day for Gareth Evans and for Ian Goff because they win their first cap for Wales this evening. Just one change in the side that put it across Ireland. Robbie Kempson coming in for his first full test cap. Of course, he came on as a replacement last week, but a big day for Robbie Kempson, and I'm sure there are a lot of Queen's guys and also a lot of people in Durban who wish him well. Otherwise, I was just saying to Uli Schmidt earlier on, compare that to 1992 when we made our reappearance into World Rugby. Vast experience there. Gary Teichmann leading South Africa for the 24th time this evening. The record, of course, held by Francois Pienaar, who had 29 caps. Now the Welsh bench, Garen Jenkins has played 36 tests. Otherwise, Wyatt and Morris have only played one each. The rest of them still have to make their debut for Wales, and there's lots of experience there on the South African bench with Henry Honeyball and Naka Drotsky, the most capped players. Well, an enthusiastic crowd has gathered here this evening, and we're waiting for young Carol Lee to come on again, the up-and-coming star who has led the singing against Ireland in both those tests, and she will be singing Land of My Fathers in Welsh and then the South African national anthem. The Nike girls have just finished their routine. They've released the balloons, and as you can see, there is also a lot of Welsh support here this evening. With me, as usual, is Uli Schmidt. Hello, Uli.
Goeiemiddag Hugh en kykers, weer eens 'n pragtige dag vir rugby op Loftus Versveld. Springbokke natuurlik die oorweldigende gunstelinge, maar in rugby is daar natuurlik altyd 'n psigiese aspek. Determinasie, moed en durf, en dit is wat hierdie manne van Wallis nodig het vandag as hulle hierdie wedstryd wil wen. Wallis het natuurlik baie terugslag gehad die afgelope tyd, baie spelers van hulle topspelers wat nie kon kom op die toer nie, en dan natuurlik ook beserings, en dan die grootste slag natuurlik, Howley, hulle kaptein, die skramskakel wat weer beseer is.
So it's a big moment this for Kingsley Jones as he leads out the Welsh team. It was his birthday. He turned 29 2 weeks ago. So a wonderful birthday present for him, although I'm sure he would like to have Rob Howley leading them out. He was one of the stars of the Five Nations, was Rob Howley. There's Kingsley Jones. And so a big responsibility on him as well. Well, Arwell Thomas, who played against South Africa for Neath when he was just 19 years old, and he doesn't look more than about 16 now. He weighs just 70 kgs, but a very good ball player and very efficient place kicker. So it's always a big moment, this, isn't it, Uli?
Ja nee, verseker 'n groot oomblik vir die bokke as hulle hier so uitstap. Mens kan al 100 wedstryde gespeel het vir 'n span, maar die dag as jy op die veld stap, dan is daar weer baie vlinders in jou maag. Die Springbokke natuurlik goed gedoen teen Ierland, maar nog steeds die middelveld het hulle probleme, nie genoeg planmatigheid daar nie, en dan die vaste 5 wat ook nie genoeg domineer nie.
That's the West Stand where it is absolutely packed, and Gary Teichmann, who's had such a fantastic season this year. So Joos van der Westhuizen scored a try last week, and he increased his number from 18 tries. Remember, James Small holds the record at 20 with Dani Gerber on 19. There's a look at Robbie Kempson. What a moment for him. Well, a very confident crowd. I think they're expecting Wales to take quite a hammering this evening. But remember, national pride is at stake. And we heard from J.J. Williams and Jonathan Davies earlier on, two of the great Welsh players. And they're just hoping like crazy that these Welsh players come up to scratch. So Carol Lee will now lead the singing. The expression of Andre Venter just epitomized everything Uli Schmidt was saying. His 23rd test match today, and you just saw him so G'd up, and you just saw, as the anthem ended, the Springbok forwards whip around and tug together, and so they're pretty G'd up. Adrian Garvey, the tight head prop, he will be up against Mike Griffiths. We were talking about Mike Griffiths and John Davis and Uli Schmidt. If my memory counts me rightly, you played against both of them.
Ja nee, ons het teen hulle gespeel in die 1994 reeks wat ons na Wallis toe in Skotland en Ierland gehad het, en dit is 'n formidabele vooruit daai. Baie sterk.
The referee today, significant, Paddy O'Brien, refereed South Africa here in Pretoria in the Tri-Nations against Australia. South Africa won 61-11, and then later in the year, Paddy O'Brien refereed against Wales, against France rather, in the second test at the Parc des Princes, and then South Africa won 52 points to 10. So he has been the referee in two massive wins for South Africa the last two times he's blown. He'll be blowing his 13th test as the full-back Byron Hayward prepares to kick off. Of course, he plays at outside half, fly half, most of the time for his club, Erie Valley, but it is Arwell Thomas who kicks off onto Rousseau, and it was Teichmann who went up high, but Wales have got possession. John, he's taken over from Howley. This is Thomas. Peter Miller is going for him. He had to get rid of that quickly, and then Peter Rousseau hasn't found his touch. This is Hayward. Plenty of room to open up here, but he's covered by two big South African backs.
Stay on, Red. Tackle, fellas, up we come. Thank you.
Wel, as jy nie slim is nie, moet jy as jy nie sterk is, dan moet jy slim wees. Daar sien ons die verrassingselement skop na die verkeerde kant toe. Maar hy man ook in sy spore gestuit deur Pieter Miller.
John Thomas Taylor. More big tackling by the South African midfield backs as John gets the ball quite quickly. Thomas. Then to Williams, the hooker. It was a big hit there from Johanni Rasmus, but Williams stood up to it. James Dalton. Well, the touch judge on this side of the field is David McHugh, who is the guy that sent James Dalton off in that infamous game against Canada in the World Cup in Port Elizabeth. Dalton, and it's a little bit short for Teichmann. So Wales have turned it around. This is Jarvis, the most experienced after the front rankers of the Welsh forwards. John Tough, then it's James, the wing, then again Williams. South Africa offside. Good ball retention by Wales.
Give them the space.
Ja, eerste lynstaan bal is besit afgeneem by die Springbokke. Nie 'n goeie ingooi deur James Dalton nie.
So a chance here for Wales to get the first points on the board as Arwel Thomas is going to take the kick. You can see the distance he has to kick. It's right in front of the posts. Not renowned for the distance he can kick, but he's very accurate, and the high felt, of course, will suit him. He's easily got the distance. The direction is good, and Wales have started this game extremely well.
Penalty by Howell.
Franco Smith. Plenty of time for his forwards to get under the ball, and then Teichmann just gets Barry Williams into touch in no uncertain terms.
Wel, Barry Williams het in hierdie kort tydjie al 3 keer die bal hanteer.
Barry Williams was here with the British Lions last year, but didn't play in a test match. Venter. Well played by Van der Westhuizen, help from Dalton, who'll want to keep it in. Dalton has done quite no, but Wales have now turned it around. Good ball here for Van der Westhuizen. Smith, Erasmus barges through Thomas's tackle. Van der Westhuizen, nicely pulled in by Smith.
Number 6.
And so it was Nathan Thomas. Very quickly taken there. Then Wales have got it back, but they weren't back 10 metres. So South Africa have gained the 10. Now it's interesting to see what Gary Teichmann decides to do.
Fellas, let him go.
And it's going to be Percy Montgomery for posts.
Skipper.
'n redelike maklike skoppale toe. Maar na die 10 te nader gegee is, mag hulle nie weer 'n vinnige strafskop neem nie. En Wallis het geherorganiseer en daarom het Teichmann besluit om paal toe te skop.
Very nicely struck by Percy Montgomery. So South Africa very quickly back on level terms. If Mark Andrews remains injury-free and James Small doesn't get back into the South African team, he could well overtake James in number of caps won for South Africa. But beautifully taken by the self-same Andrews. Variation by Van der Westhuizen. Hayward is under it, and it's nicely taken, but he carried it back into his 22. And Colin Hawke has picked it up.
Pragtig rank Andrews vir die bal daar van die afskop af. Ongelukkig sy ondersteuning wat nie by is nie. Val hard op die grond, maar nietemin hy het balbesit gekry.
Otto. Dalton trying to get them all going. He'll need to rip this back. Fente is strong there as well.
Stay here, stay here. Stay.
Van der Westhuizen, Smith. And now it's Stefan de Blanche. Feeds it up to Smith again. Erasmus is on hand quickly. Van der Westhuizen, Dalton. Nice little dummy by him. He's tackled by Griffiths, the loose head prop. Now it's an overlap here for South Africa. There are chances here for Teichmann. And, well, Adrian Garvey must have thought he was going to go in. Well recovered by Krano Otto. Big pressure this from South Africa. Montgomery up. Van der Westhuizen again, but John is way offside. He read it before the ball had come out. Now this is a point where Gary Teichmann may well say no. Van der Westhuizen taking quickly. De Blanche! Try number 5 in just his third test match.
Pragtige tempo rugby deur die bokke. Joost van der Westhuizen vat die vinnige strafskoppie. Stefan ter Blanche hardloop in die spasie en hy klop ook die verdedigers. En wat 'n goeie rekord is dit nie. 5-3 in 2 toetse, 3 toetse. Maar ons het gesien as die Springbokke die balle wyd vat, die losvoorspelers van Wallis baie stadig om by die afbreekpunte te kom.
Up to today, he had scored 66 points for South Africa. Now, of course, 69. Now to move into the 70s, and it's there.
En persoon hier, Percy Montgomery.
Well, a very strong run this by Stefan de Blanche. And as he early pointed out, the loose forwards very slow to cover the field. Thomas.
Far side. Furthest away. Furthest away.
That's a bad mistake by Wales. I think it was Garen Evans, the left wing, who got in front of the kicker.
No, hold on. No ball, no ball, no, both is back off.
Dit was amper 10 minute verstreke, eerste skram wat plaas gaan vind.
Teichmann, Van der Westhuizen, and very nearly, and a penalty against Darwell Thomas for deliberate knockdown. He's disappointed with that. He'd head away with the ball. He knew it was a knock-on. He might have thought he got away with it.
Wel, as dit Aspris was, is dit 'n strafskop en daar kan jy duidelik sien hy het nie probeer onderskep nie. Hy het maar net probeer om die bal af te stamp. En die skeieregter 100% reg, dit is 'n strafskop.
So Montgomery has judged this kick brilliantly. He's kicked it to 7 meters from the Welsh goal line.
Yeah, good get, that's good, thank you, hold there. Thanks, fellas. Hold your 10.
Al die Springbokke se voorspelers is in die lyn staan.
Venter. Van der Westhuizen got that very quickly. Smith, Snyman. Van der Westhuizen again with options. Now it's Franco Smith. Another nice little dummy for him. Holds it up for Dalton.
Stay here, stay out, Red.
Van der Westhuizen, long one there to Franco Smith, well read by him. Montgomery just running into Peter Rousseau, and David McHugh, the touch judge, has his flag up.
Offside's all right?
Onopsetlike obstruksie daar. Maar die skeieregter sê dat dit nie op posisie geplan nie en daarom laat hy die lynstaan voortgaan.
Williams nicely taken by Goff. John. And the last touch was by Duffeth James.
Take his mark, otherwise you know what we're talking about. Come on.
Otto again, very clean. See how flat Smith was. Now it's Andre Snyman, and watch the pace of the man, but he's well covered by the Welsh centres.
Kepler! Let him go.
Very quick by Peter Muller. Rousseau with space here. Can he get it away? Andre Venter, the crowd are on their feet. And that was terrific play by the South African left wing.
Welles wat baie foute maak, staan baie strafskoppe af. Vinnige strafskop geneem deur die Springbokke. Goed gedink Pieter Muller. Dan sien ons daai oorslaan aangee, dubbele oorslaan. Pieter Rousseau doen baie goed. Hy trek al die verdedigers op hom. En dan Andre Venter, hy kry 'n welverdiende 3. Verlede week het hy omtrent 60 meter gehardloop vir 'n 3 wat hulle nie toegeken het nie. Wel gedaan Andre Venter.
Easy conversion for Montgomery, and so Wales are now in very serious trouble because they haven't got out of their half apart from the kick-offs. But you see this by Peter Rousseau. He went inside and then outside, just stopped Hayward for a moment, did so well to get his pass away, and Andre Venter gets his 4th try for his country.
Maar die belangrike aspek daar was daai pragtige hantering van Franco Smith, daai dubbel oorslaan aangee in die hande van Pieter Rousseau.
Erasmus, Teichmann, Erasmus. See, it took 2 Welshmen to pull him down. Van der Westhuizen, Smith, Hayward. A little bit shaky, but still held on. Dalton has got it covered, but Hayward retrieves. Good work by the full-back.
Number 2!
And it's James Dalton who is penalised.
Same as I had them for.
Pragtige ligskoppie geskop deur die heel agter. Hy volg op. James Dalton wag vir die bal. Hy vang hom nie die lug uit nie. En dan natuurlik die doodvatter. Hy mag nie die man op die grond speel nie. Hy moet eers op sy voete kom voordat hy enigstens aan die spel mag deelneem. En daarom word James Dalton gestraf.
So it's Arwel Thomas with the second attempted goal.
Ja, die manne moet maar palle toeskop. Ek weet nie wat in hulle broeke sit om 3 te druk nie.
It's another good kick by Arwel Thomas. Flags go up. And as Uli Schmidt was saying, the difference is, if you watch the South African backs, they have their forwards, loose forwards particularly, with them. They attack the gain line, they commit tacklers. I said it had taken 2 tacklers to pull down Johan Erasmus. Now, by contrast, Wales don't attack like that when they have the ball. Let's see if they can do it.
Lost it and didn't recover it. Green scrum. Red player didn't recover it. Hold, fellas. No ball, no call. No! No, no! No. Engage. Yeah, thank you.
The South African backs lying deep. Smith, Muller, Montgomery was in a very good position to take a quick ball there from Peter Muller, but he was just a little bit sideways on was Muller.
Stand, fellas, red. Both sides, tackle, player and tackler.
Hierdie keer Wallace wat vinniger by die afbreekpunte gekom het.
Hold. We talk.
Well, you see advantage for the Springboks in the pack there. You're almost 2 kilos per player.
Stay down. 7.
Jones, the skipper. Then Thomas. Now this is down. It was Goff who couldn't get it away. Goff is the guy in the scrum cap. That's John Davis.
Ja nee, baie 'n goeie beplande beweging hierso deur Wallace. Pragtig bring hulle die slothok in spel in. Maar dan soos in al hulle ander wedstryde, die balretensie, ongeforseerde foute. Dit kom hulle duur te staan.
The big tackle too, which dislodged the ball by Mark Andrews.
Break it up, both sides, break up. That's the gap now. Hold, engage, thank you. Hold there.
Wales trying to swivel that scrum. Teichmann did well to Van der Westhuizen. Advantage to Wales. This is Taylor. Taylor going very strongly. Tackled by Muller. Well played by Otto.
Number 4, up.
Well, it was well recovered by Kleiner Otto, but then he didn't release.
Number 4.
See how many red jerseys are around him.
Ja, jy maar kyk dat manne oorgeval ook en manne het nie op hulle voete gebly toe hy op die bal geval het nie. Bal afstaan na die Springbokke en kyk nou as hy nou grond toe gaan. Gee die bal terug. Dadelik val die Wallisers oor. So aanvanklik moes hulle eintlik eerste gestraf gewees het. Maar natuurlik die Nieu-Seelandse skeieregters is nie so streng op daai reël 18 nie, manne wat op hulle voete moet bly nie. Hulle interpreteer nog die reëls baie keer anderster as ons Suid-Afrikaanse skeieregters. Hulle bevoordeel die aanvallende span baie meer.
Well, amazing. Arwell Thomas with his easiest kick of the evening, and you can see how mad he is. Quick one taken by the Springboks.
Stay here, no.
Smith. Snyman. Montgomery's gone round. That was well tapped on there to Blanche. Now a chance for the South Africans to attack in numbers. Well taken by Hayward. South Africans trying to hold him up. Van der Westhuizen, great reactions by him. The whistle has gone as the South Africans play on. Now Franco Smith thinks he's in for a try, but then realises that the play has stopped.
Yeah, 2 knock-ons.
Ja, ons hoor die skeieregter wat sê eers Wallace aangeslaan of eers die Springbokke toe Wallace. En dan verander hy sy beslissing. Pragtige hande daar so deur Percy. Stefan ter Blanc sien hy kan net 'n ligskop binnekant toe skop, maar kyk net daai druk wat op die heel agter toegepas word. En hulle verloor die bal eerste vorentoe en daarom gaan die Springbokke die bal in hierdie vaste skram ingooi. Iets wat ongelukkig daarvan die Springbokke. So die skeieregter wat op die stadium al 'n paar foute gemaak het.
Well, that's why the score is 17 points to 6 with those stats. Now another chance for the South Africans to launch an attack. Unfortunately, Ter Blanche couldn't hold on. This is now Gareth Evans.
Let it come, leave it, Green, leave it!
John Hayward. Nice little change of direction there by James. Now Wales will want to retain this as it goes to Thomas. Now to Jones.
Get out of it! Get out of it!
John, Thomas, John again. Van der Westhuizen, Teichmann, well turned around this by South Africa. Now Montgomery, watch this for pace. He just has to straighten up Hayward. He could have gone on the outside of him, tried to get it away, retains the ball again, but it was an awkward pass that to Peter Rousseau. A lovely break initially by Montgomery, and in fact he should have made more out of that.
Daar neem die Springbokke die besit af. En 'n pragtige teenaanval dan deur die Springbokke na die steelkant toe. Just van der Westhuizen som die situasie baie mooi op. En is net daar waar Percy Montgomery in die gaping ingehardloop het. Pragtige spoed wat hy tentoongestel het, maar net jammer dat hy nie aansluiting buitekant toe kon gevind het nie.
There's going to be a problem for Wales if they don't tackle out, because Montgomery, they're skipping and then bringing Montgomery in, and it's causing a great deal of trouble for the outside backs of Wales. The put-in is to South Africa because Hayward knocked on when Montgomery tried to get his pass away. Van der Westhuizen looking for the gap, finds Erasmus. Comes quickly again to the scrum half. Peter Muller. Smith, nice reading of the play, good tackle on Rousseau. Now this is Montgomery. Garvey is in there very hard.
Let it go! Down.
And Welsh turned it around. That was good defence by the Welsh,
Down, both is up.
but it is really extended.
Percy Montgomery wat daar na binnekant toe kom. Maar toe hy daai bal wil teruggooi, toe het die Wallisers die bal afgeneem.
Sorry. Green. Hold it. Yeah, play on. Back row down. Green.
John. Well, the up and under for James, but Montgomery was there, well read by Peter Muller. He lays it back well. Teichmann did so nicely. Smith, Snyman, Rousseau. Snyman again. Look at the acceleration, is electrifying. And good work there by Garron Evans, who got back to stop Andre Snyman, Andre Venter rather, who was flying on the outside. Stefan Terblanche was well covered by Evans as well.
Wel op hierdie stadium het die skeieregter klaar strafskop vir onkantspel aan die Springbokke toegeken, maar hy speel voordeel. En dan is dit weer eens net daai laaste aangee wat nie maat kan vat nie.
Yeah, it was Evans on to Terblanche. John now, little Thomas will want to try and gain some ground. That's going awfully skew. Montgomery. Plenty of options here as Peter Rousseau in fact runs out of support, but the Welsh have lost the retention again, and now it's becoming a little bit like a basketball match.
Scrum it, lost forward. Knock on is the first one. For red. Hold, fellas.
Ja, dis die Springbokke se vaste voorspelers wat nie meer so vinnig by die afbreekpunte kom nie.
Thank you.
Daar het ons gesien dat Wallis hulle ver voor was.
Montgomery has come wide. Rousseau. Good tackle by James.
Lost forward, scrum, red ball.
But on just about every occasion, the Welsh are having to tackle and tackle and tackle again. You see how they extended here. James made a good low tackle, little knock on, but of course Wales now pinned back in their 22. Their only option really is to kick it.
Maar jy, ek sou graag wil gesien het dat die Springbokke beter gebruik gemaak het van daardie skrum. Hulle het basies maar net die bal agterlyn toe gegee, geen plan gehad en glad geensins 'n man oorbewerkstellig nie, en op die stadium ook gans te veel hanteerfoute.
No, I'm going. No, I'm going. Engage. Stay here. Half stay.
John. Rousseau. Big tackle by Fennell, but Montgomery was there. Wales players driving in hard.
Stay red.
Van der Westhuizen, plenty of room on the short side. Hayward. Well, Hayward hardly gaining any ground at all, and so South Africa will continue to attack from the line-out ball.
Dit was goeie variasie geweest in die spel. Joost van der Westhuizen wat daai skopie na die steelkant toe geskop het. Goeie druk opgesit deur die Springbokke.
Super pass by Van der Westhuizen. Now it's Snyman. Oh, Andre Snyman is really looking brilliant. Can he get the pass? Oh, the change of direction came. Try number 2 for Stefan ter Blanche. And this could be a Stefan ter Blanche. Nobody's ever scored 4 tries twice in test matches for South Africa. Dani Gerber's done it. He scored 3 tries on 2 occasions, but nobody's ever scored 4.
Ja, dit is 'n stukkie individuele briljantheid daar deur Andre Snyman. Hy het goed gedoen. Dis die man wat die 3 gemaak het. Maar Stefan ter Blanche, hy is die man vir die groot oomblikke op die regte tyd op die regte plek. Hy rond af en word beloon met die tweede 3 vanaand. Dit is die man wat die 3 gemaak het, Andre Snyman. Ek weet by die 40 meter tydtoetse hardloop hy 1:4,8 sekondes. So ek dink dis amper een van die vinnigste manne in Suid-Afrikaanse rugby.
Yeah, that certainly is very quick. 4,8 seconds for 40 meters.
En dit is vanuit rus, dis nie 'n flying start soos julle sê nie.
And Montgomery, I think Percy will be happy that that one went over. It was the worst of his strikes, but still managing to sneak over. But just watch when he accelerates. He goes on the inside, then here comes the acceleration. Really was running away from the opposition there. And ter Blanche timed his run to perfection. Erasmus. Again, the variation from the experienced South African scrum half. Back foot was Jarvis. Ter Blanche was up very quickly.
Hold. Sorry, fellas, I want to get there. Green. I'm not going to tell you this again. Can you control them? No, you're a whole line out. Take them across. Okay.
Well, the South Africans will be very used to Paddy O'Brien's communication, having been refereed by him in those 2 test matches where they had runaway victories. John is under pressure from Fenta. Dalton nearly got it.
Let it go. He's okay. Leave it. Stay.
John, do you see Thomas is standing right back in his 22. Wales can play.
Stupid stuff.
It's
Absolutely ridiculous. Get out.
Robbie Kempson who is penalised for just a tap with the boot.
He knows.
Ja, hy die man wat opgestorm het, gepootjie daarom die strafskop op die plek waar die bal gehop het.
Here Robbie Kempson saying sorry sir.
Ja, met die Super 12 reëls kan hy maklik 'n geel kaart daarvoor kry.
Fenta bursts away from the line-out. It was Wales' ball. Now it's Evans, the left wing. But South Africa have turned it around. Andrews. Super footwork from a big man. See how Van der Westhuizen went to ground to try and grab it. And Joost is penalised for it. Remember the last time South Africa played Wales, he got a hat-trick of tries.
Ja, mens kan sien dit is 'n los skram en mens mag nie op 'n bal val wat uit 'n los skram uitkom nie. Jy moet op jou voete bly.
Well, Arwel Thomas also isn't getting nearly enough distance with his kicks. It's not putting South Africa under any pressure whatsoever. That's a better tap down from Moore to John. This is Barry Williams.
Pass forward by Green and the tackle. That'll do.
Wel, die skeieregter is nie baie streng in die lyn staan nie. Daar's geen manier wat André Venter daai bal kon afgeklap het nie. Dit was 'n skoon bal wat gevat was deur Wallace. Hy moes oor die onkantlyn gewees het, daai lyn wat in die middel van die twee lynstane deurgegaan het. So eintlik moes hy ook 'n strafskop teen hom gekry het.
Come up. Listen to me. No, listen. Listen to me. Engage.
James Dalton has come to grips with all three of the Welsh front rankers, so they're not new to him. Adrian Garvey as well. It's only Robbie Kempson who hasn't come to grips with Griffiths, Williams and Davis.
Listen. Engage. Thank you.
Vir Wallace nou baie belangrik om 'n regter skouer te kry. Dit wil sê die vaskop nommer 3 aan hierdie kant van ons. Hy moet vorentoe gaan. As hy nie vorentoe gaan nie, word sy hele agterlyn onder druk gesit, sowel as sy skram skakel wat die bal moet uitgee.
Hold. Engage. No. Leave it.
Now it's the captain again, Kingsley Jones. See how John was driven back.
Stay out, Bree. Stay out.
And Wells have lost it forward. Good work by Kempson. Van der Westhuizen looking for his options. Goes past John and then just trips over his own feet. Well picked up by De Blanche. Andrews was in quickly, waiting for advantage in South Africa. You see how Van der Westhuizen is mad.
Ja, nie baie goeie taal gebruik deur hom daar nie. Pragtige breekslag. Klop hy sy man aan die buitekant met spoed. Maar dan sien ons daai wobble. Stefan ter Blanche doen baie mooi om die bal op te tel en dan maak Andrews wat weer eens ook die bal vorentoe verloor. Maar eerste die fout deur Joost van der Westhuizen. Hy het die bal eerste verloor. Daarom die skram vir Wallace.
So that's Andy Moore, the lock forward from Swansea. So not too much happiness there. Dennis John, the Welsh coach. And there's Chris Wyatt. Dennis John in the middle of your picture. And his son Paul will feed the scrum.
No, you come up, scrum.
Paul John, who captained Wales A against South Africa a few years ago. In fact, it was on that same tour Willie Schmidt was talking about.
Okay, hold for me, listen to me. Engage.
Jumaak is beïndruk met Robbie Kempson se skramwerk. Hy skram baie goed. Hy druk sy vaskop terug. Swak balle wat die Wallisers uit die skram uit kry.
Jones tries to make some ground for Wales. He's the guy in the red scrum cap. Now chance here for Evans, but he's shut down very quickly. Very little room for the Welsh to move, and they seem reluctant to move the ball wide. As John moves it now again, Thomas deciding to kick. And basically they've just given away possession.
Ja, hy het veld gewen, maar hy het besit afgestaan. En teen die Springbokke met hulle gevaarlike agterlyn en goeie balretensie onder die voorspelers, kan jy dit nie bekostig nie. Suid-Afrika natuurlik ver voor in die losgemale en loskrams. Maar dan sien ons ook weer baie balle wat hulle verloor het.
You can see there the retained figure is the important one in terms of the fact that they've had twice as much ball as Wales. Trainer Otto is a tower of strength in the lineouts. Dalton, Van der Westhuizen, South Africa looking to move it wide. This is Peter Muller. Van der Westhuizen finding the gap again and very nearly finding Peter Rousseau. Now it's Franco Smith, Kempson. Well laid back. Well, it wasn't very well laid back. The ball was good, but this is a bit South Africa, or Dick Mallett won't be happy with that little period of play, because those sort of passes against New Zealand will be suicide.
Ja, nee, ons het gesien by die lyn staan.
There's Nick Mallett. You can see he's scratching his head just earlier than that, and now he's saying, what on earth is going on here? Just on his left on the picture is Johan van Bloemfontein, who played fly half for Northern Transvaal in the 70s.
Stay 6, get down. Yeah, you're okay now.
Jarvis, who normally plays flank for Wales. Little dummy, but he's covered by Van der Westhuizen.
Please, stay Green, get back.
John, Thomas. Now it's Taylor, who came in from the outside centre position. Now can Wales get something on the go here? Hayward up in the line. James covered by Rousseau. Big tackle from the tall Western Province winger.
No. Nothing in it. We'll watch it, they said him. In here.
Ja, hulle vat basies net die bal wyd, maar daar's geen spasie nie, daar's geen ondersteuners nie. Pieter Rousseau met 'n pragtige pletter vat daar, hy duik die man terug. Die man hou die bal op die grond vas en daarom die strafskop.
Now it's Hayward in possession because South Africa missed their touch, but Hayward, they may as well have got their touch. Hayward's really not on song with his punting. He's played the other two games we've seen him play. He's played at fly half.
Ja nee, Hayward of Thomas op die stadium skop baie goed na die kantlyn toe nie.
Teichmann. Good dummy that by Gary Teichmann. Now it's Trainer Otto desperately looking for some support.
Stay here. Stay, Red.
Van der Westhuizen, Smith. You know, there was a tackle on Peter Rousseau, I think, when he didn't have the ball.
Yeah, I'll get into it. Didn't come yet.
Jy as jy teen 'n hakker vashardloop, gaan jy dit altyd weet.
Nice call, Lily.
Go back 10. Back to 10.
Vleels was nog altyd hakker se kos.
So Dalton, the man who is penalised, and Arul Thomas will take the kick. Played for Neath against South Africa way back in '94, but now he's playing for Swansea. Moore doubled back nicely. He gave himself plenty of room there. Then Jones went in hard with the ball. Good work this by the Welsh Tights as Williams, Barry Williams, the hooker, is prominent. John tackled by Dalton but gets it to Thomas. Dalton again making a lot of tackles. So is Johan Erasmus on Duffith James. Chance here for Franco Smith, well read and well got out of there by Peter Muller. Andre Snyman's on the run again, and what a brilliant touch that to Rousseau. Well, there were two very important tackles there from James Dalton. Set it up for the move to go wide.
Ja, hy het 'n baie goeie duikslaag daar uitgevoer, maar die eerste een was hy in 'n onkant posisie geweest. Maar daar sien ons Pieter Muller ruk homself los en vir Andre Snyman gee nie spasie nie. Hy is net te vinnig. En weet gesê hy het nie hande nie. Daai pragtige tree aangee, soos die Afrikaners sê, bewerkstellig daai drie. Maar goeie werk deur Pieter Rousseau. Hy soek werk. Hy's aan albei kante waar hy drie wil druk, nie net aan sy kant nie, maar ook aan die regterkant van die veld.
Another easy conversion for Percy Montgomery, so South Africa now move into the 30s. It's really exciting to watch Andre Snyman run when he accelerates particularly. And to look at Peter Rousseau's strike rate, it's pretty impressive. 13 tries in his 14th test match. So there will be a hold-up as one of the Welsh players is receiving attention. I think it is Duffith James, the right wing, who was born in Secunda. So I would think that there will be a number of replacements if things carry on like this. Also, it leaves Nick Mallett with the option of bringing on and giving a run to a few of his guys on the bench. Now it's the skipper, Smith. Garvey committing the Welsh forwards, Van der Westhuizen, Dalton. Good tactics by South Africa to keep it tight and suck in the Welsh forwards. Now it's Johan Erasmus. You see again 2 men to tackle him. Teichmann, well tackled by Williams. Fennell was also in there. Van der Westhuizen. Stefan te Blanche trying to get that little kick ahead, and South Africa still retaining the ball. Peter Muller, that's a clever little tactic, well covered by John, beautifully picked up by Rousseau. Now he's got Andre Venter. What are his options here? Good tackle by Hayward. Mark Andrews was on the spot to secure it for his team. Van der Westhuizen, great hands by Garvey. Beautiful touch by Peter Muller and Garvey. Now it's Snyman. Garvey's on his shoulder. Teichmann, Teichmann just couldn't get the ball to Stefan te Blanche. I think a hand grabbed his arm as he tried to swing it wide. But Garvey was very impressive here.
Ja, Garvey wat die situasie mooi opstom. Hy het 'n mooi visie gehad daar. Gee die bal terug na die binnekant toe. En dan sien ons weer goeie agtermanspel daardeur Teichmann wat goed opvolg, maar dan natuurlik net daai laaste aangee.
Nicely secured by Goff. John. Well, this tactic is a little bit puzzling to me. These up and unders from their own 22 up onto Peter Rousseau, who's very sound under the up and under. And South Africa attack again. Look at that beautiful pass from Franco Smith. Now a chance here for te Blanche. They've just got too much pace for the Welsh defenders. Andre Venter was up quickly, but Wales have turned it around. Now they should run it. But John preferring to kick. There were plenty of Welshmen on this side of the field, on the open side. But the first option seems to me really is that they've got to, vang die bal en skop.
Ja, nee, veral as jy so naby jou doellyn is en as daar nog 'n flank is wat stadig is in die agterlyn, dan gaan jy nie die bal vir hom gee in jou eie kwart gebied nie. Maar daar sien ons duidelik die Suid-Afrikaners wat baie balbesit kry en dan ook die bal pragtig by hulle vleuels kry.
Andrews, well done by Garvey.
10 metres.
Yeah, and the Welsh players joining that the ruck too early before it had moved away from the line of touch. Dalton reveling in the fact that his forwards are so powerful in terms of their supremacy over the red shirts. Franco Smith's distribution too has been very, very good. Garvey, now the Erasmus, Snyman, held up by Fennell.
Leave it!
Everybody's trying to get into the act now. Van der Westhuizen, Smith. A little bit of a variation by him. The Welshman must be quite pleased about that, but not Hayward.
Let it come, let it come. Stay, Green. Stay.
John.
That's fine.
Well, we now have moved into injury time. 31 points to 6, South Africa lead. As Paddy O'Brien blows his whistle for half-time. Did you see how quickly Hayward was swarmed on by the South Africans in the green jerseys? But it has been a case of all South Africa, 1, 2, 3, 4 tries that they've scored. The big word now, I think, by Nick Mallett will be that we've got to keep up our concentration. If they do that, then we could be in for a very exciting second half. We'll be back with you. Welcome back to Minolta Loftus. New name they have with a new sponsorship. where if South Africa keep their concentration, they've run in 4 tries to 0, and it's not a happy thing to watch. But Wales could take a hide in here, because they're just, as Uli Schmidt said, he doesn't know whether they've got it in their pants to actually be able to score tries, and because they're just not attacking South Africa, Uli.
Ja, nee, Wallis het glad nie genoeg spoed nie, hulle het nie genoeg vaart nie, hulle het nie genoeg vaardighede nie. Maar ek hou van die manier wat die Springbokke hierdie wedstryd benader. Hulle kry redelike goeie balbesit en dan laat hulle die bal die werk doen. Mooi lopies het ons gesien deur André Snyman. Pragtig om te sien hoe daai man kan naal. Montgomery, Rousseau, Ter Blanche. En ek dink die groot geheim in hierdie agterlyn van hulle is die manier hoe Franco Smit die manne wegkry. Elke keer as hy daai oorslaan aan GG na die buitekant se senter toe, dan hardloop die man met volle vaart in die gaping in, en dit bewerkstellig al hierdie pragtige bewegings.
Well, there's the man, Franco Smith, whose distribution has been outstanding this evening, summing it up very nicely. We saw that little tactical kick just before half-time, and that type of variation is good, because you can't just keep setting yourselves up for big tackles in midfield. Those big tackles, I say, they certainly have their hands full with André Snyman. And we're just looking around to see if there have been any replacements. I think there he is, Chris Wyatt comes on and gets his second Welsh cap. Also has experience of having played against South Africa, both here, well, South African teams here, and also against the Springboks in Wales. Not in a test match, that also was for Neath back in '94. So Franco Smith begins the second half. It's well taken there by Moore, and it was Mark Andrews who played the man, and I think that's just wind.
Okay, that's very dangerous.
Yellow card for Mark Andrews, so he'll have to be a little bit careful.
Are you okay?
Second most capped Springbok of all time.
Ja, jy moet vir die bal gaan, maar pragtig om te sien dat beide die slotte opstorm en 100% gee vir die Springbokspan.
So it's Kingsley Jones who is actually off the field, so Paul John has taken over the captaincy. He receives now. Thomas, Taylor, John again, Thomas. Nice little dummy, good footwork by him. Then he slows down and gets it to Fennell. Now another chance here for Thomas to move it wide. Gets it to James. Charge down and down. The play on here, Peter Rousseau. Has he got the pace? Peter Rousseau will easily outstrip the cover defence. 14 tries in 14 test matches.
Maar dit was Kryno Otto wat daai bal afgestorm het. En as jy 'n bal afstorm en die bal kom van die hande af, soos daarso wat ons gesien het, dan is dit nie 'n aanslaan nie. Baie goeie vaardighede daar deur 'n slot. Maar ons ken vir Kryno Otto, hy speel van sy beste rugby van sy loopbaan. En dit is die man wat die 3 gemaak het. Kryno Otto, Pieter Rousseau, hy rond net af.
There's the man who did the charging down. Favourite with the local crowd, of course. And for the first time this evening, Percy Montgomery misses.
Altyd mooi om te sien 'n slot wat op die punte bykom. Pragtig gebalanseerd, hardloop ons vleuel.
And so Mark Andrews has been removed from the game as Bobby Skinstad takes his place. Andre Venter moves into the lock. And Bobby Skinstad immediately in the action. Such an exciting flank forward. Van der Westhuizen. It was Erasmus who made the little dot, then taken on by Otto. Such good hands to get that ball away to Peter Rousseau for the try. Now it's Smith, Venter.
Slow retreat. slow retreat.
And Wales offside. Van der Westhuizen, Teichmann. Big run by the Springbok skipper now. Van der Westhuizen, can he beat his man? Van der Westhuizen could go all the way. Can he? Does!
Ja, nee, nou is dit een rigting verkeer. Hier kort na rustyd. Meneer Mallett het seker die Springbok 'n bietjie aangespreek. Joost van der Westhuizen met die lang aangee. Pragtig hardloop Gary Teichmann in die spasie in. Hy gee vir Joost van der Westhuizen. En hy klop twee van sy opponente met binneswenke.
Well, Joost enjoys that. Another easy conversion for Percy Montgomery, who's slowly but surely building up the number of points he's scoring tonight. It's not, we see that lovely little touch in there from Gary Teichmann. Look how Van der Westhuizen has got his man lined up. Hayward had no chance with a one-on-one, and the legs just stretched quickly enough. Desperate attempt by Garran Evans. So Joost van der Westhuizen is now off. Werner Swanepoel comes on. Joost van der Westhuizen with his 19 tries, equaling Dani Gerber's number. Swanepoel. Honeyball is on, so the reserves are flying on. Yeah, now Montgomery. And this is mayhem as Peter Rousseau gets it from Terblanche, and he's got Skinstad. Oh, Skinstad missed it. He looked around for the goal line and lost out on his first try for the Springboks.
Weer eens pragtige spasie daar vir die buitesnellers. Kyk net daai selfvertroue van Stefan Terblanche. Daai 3 aangee terug na Pieter Rousseau en jammer vir Bobby Skinstad. Hy kon dalk sy eerste toets 3 gedruk het.
Stay down. Too far at the back.
Joe mense baie keer, jy weet, dit was 'n swak aangee geweest. Maar natuurlik as jy vir die Springbokke speel of jy speel op hierdie vlak rugby, dan is daar nie so iets soos 'n swak aangee nie. Jy moet in staat wees om enige aangee te vat.
So what has happened in the Springbok backline, just to bring you up to date, is Swanepoel is at scrum half, Honeyball at fly half, and Franco Smith has moved into the centre. Peter Muller is the man who's gone off. Arwell Thomas looking a little bit shell-shocked, and I'm not surprised.
Ja, Arwell Thomas is nie 'n man wat graag kontak maak nie.
So Henry Honeyball earning his 23rd cap. Lovely work there by Kranaotto. Franco Smith, Honeyball, look how they're moving the ball wide. Rousseau has options. Monty is there. Lovely dummy by Rousseau. Oh, goodness me. This, I'm afraid, is a whitewash.
Maar hier sien ons 'n Springbok agterlyn op sy beste. Pragtige planne wat gemaak is. En dan hy fop aangee op die einde. Hy klop 2 van sy opponente met daai fop aangee. Maar die 3 is bewerkstellig. Vroeër in daai beweging. Deur die middelveld en die buitekantste manne doen net hulle plig. Hulle druk die 3.
Well, we've had 6 minutes in the second half, and South Africa have scored 3 tries. They've now scored, let's see, their 7th try. The most tries we've ever scored against Wales before is 5.
En die hoogste telling teen Wallis was 40-11. So hierdie is ook 'n telling vir die rekordsboeke.
Percy to make it 50, and it slides by. 13 points for him tonight.
Wel, dit was 'n pragtige 3 gewees. Wallis se agterlyn het nie geweet waar om te keer nie.
So Mackie Hendricks now is on the field in place of Stefan Terblanche.
Mackie Hendricks, vervang vir Stefan Terblanche.
And Wales also making a replacement as Byron Hayward limps off, and he's replaced by it's Darryl Williams, Teichmann, Smith. Oh, they're running through at will now, just about. Venter, Skinstad, so strong on his feet. Here goes Andre Venter. This is a sight to behold, and he just couldn't find on the outside. Andre Snyman was there, it went forward. He was looking for Rousseau on the outside, but Welshman just got him between the two players.
Ja, dis hier vorentoe aangee.
John. Good cover there, but James has done well. Then a big tackle from Venter. If you don't get nailed by Erasmus, then Venter jumps on your back. Now South Africa come away again. This is Snyman, well tackled by Taylor. Hendricks, he's always strong in the tackle. Can Wales get this ball? One almost feels that you would like to see them get the ball to be able to run with it. Swanepoel waits for something to happen. It's desperate stuff this now as Rousseau gets it to now look at this, Garvey in full flight. He gets it away to Andre Venter, and Andre Venter smashes over for his second try.
Vaskop, flank, wat nou slot speel. Goeie hantering daar tussen die voorspelers en die agterspelers. Weer eens Pieter is wat pragtig insny. Teichmann het 'n handjie bygedra en dan gee hulle vir Andre Snyman, Andre Venter. En hy rond af. Maar pragtig gespeel daar. So eers deur die voorspelers, toe deur die agterspelers. Toe Teichmann wat die nodige werk gegee het. Selfs die Vaskop het pragtig hardloop in daai beweging. En ek sien jy kry die Wallisers nou jammer.
Well, you can't help it, can you, really? Will you? It's really a total and complete mismatch. Another super kick by Percy.
Ja, as dit 'n boksgeveg was, moes hulle hom nou al lank al gestop het. Maar weer eens kry nou Otto. Kyk hy pragtige hande. Garvey doen baie goeie werk. Spoed. En Andre Venter wat afrond.
So Wales also now making another substitution as Fennell comes off. Swanepoel, Honeyball, Skinstad, Smith, Snyman. Dalton grabs it, Swanepoel again, just finding a little bit of an opening. Well, we said if it doesn't become a basketball match, South Africa is scoring a try every 2 minutes now.
Welsh change, John Tunnell, number 12, replaced by Stephen Jones, number 17.
So Stephen Jones is in the centre for Wales to win his first cap. Well, territorially, it's just as we said, we keep saying it is a bit of a mismatch.
Maar selfs toe die plaatsvervangers opkom of die substitute, is daar geen keer aan hierdie Springbokspan nie.
Jones is on the left wing. Duffith James has gone in from the wing to centre as John gets the ball slowly to Thomas. That's a nice little break by him, and here come Wales via Gould, then Jarvis. Moore also going in hard now. It's Thomas to Williams. John. Nice switch by the scrum half. Jarvis again. Eventually Venter makes a big tackle. Good possession this for Wales. Thomas, John. Now it's Mark Taylor who tries to get it away, but the Springboks have now fanned out. John again to Arwell Thomas. Now this is Barry Williams. Swirls through one tackle. A little bit static by Wales, that as their tight forwards got it a little bit unexpectedly. Thomas. And then the new man on the field, it was Jones who was over there.
Coming in the side, rocket form, don't do it. Come on, number 2, that's almost yellow card, mate.
James Dalton getting a little bit of a warning there from Paddy O'Brien.
Ja, dis opsetlik 'n negatiewe spel. Hy het 'n 3 verhoed wat die skeieregter dalk bedoel het en daarom kon hy 'n geel kaart kry daarvoor. Wel is 'n agterlyn wat baie diep staan.
Now, Ross, our television cameraman, is asked to stand back a little as Barry Williams prepares to feed the line out.
Yep, are you ready? Let's go.
Taken by Goff. John Wyatt comes around, well read by the front men of South Africa.
Stay there, stay there, stay there. Stay on, stay on.
Thomas must attack and does, and he gets through for the try. And at last, the Welsh supporters have something to shout about.
Ja, dis die tweede keer wat vir Bobby Skinstad klop. Nie goeie verdediging deur die substituut nie.
Further Welsh change, Kingsley James, number 7, has been replaced by Chris White, number 20.
Maar ons het al gesien dat Wallis op hierdie toer elke keer goed terugveg hier na die einde se kant toe. En dit sal interessant wees om te sien of hulle dit vanaand ook kan doen.
So Arwell Thomas is now responsible for all Wales' points. There you see it was just a slip in concentration by the South African defence. We very nearly walked over the dead ball line here as he looked up. As he's wont to do. We've seen Arwell Thomas do that a number of times. That's Williams now, Charvis. Williams is about the hardest worker on the Welsh team.
First one is green, second one red scrum. 2 knock-ons, red scrum.
There's Barry Williams, who was the third hooker on the British Lions tour last year. Wyatt is now operating at number 8, gets from, it was Taylor. Swanepoel, that's a clever touch. Rousseau. Swanepoel again, gets past Arwell Thomas. Honeyball did nicely, this is Montgomery. And Snyman got that unexpectedly. I think he felt it was going to go to Erasmus, but he had just looked up to see how he was going to run off the ball when it landed in his stomach.
Ja, ek dink is tyd dat Gary Teichmann miskien net vir sy manne sê, luister, kom ons konsolideer net weer, kom ons maak vas. Hierdie is nie 'n 7 aan 'n kantspel nie. En kom ons kry net ons konsentrasie reg.
Wholeheartedly endorsed by myself. I think Willie Schmidt absolutely right. This is McNeil Hendricks. Strong, Boerland wing. Tackled by Taylor. Swanepoel. It was Franco Smith who got it to Teichmann. Switch in direction. There are a lot of green jerseys out there. Honeyball got through the half gap. Snyman takes 2 to pull him down. Swanepoel again. Honeyball. Williams. John. Well, now is Percy Montgomery going to throw it in quickly? He does, and he'll run it. Rousseau back with him. And that is not out. This is Williams, got Wyatt in support. Williams is a tricky runner. Well tackled by Crainer Otto. Then from Williams to Jarvis. Now Wales had so many men on the outside, and that was the wrong way, I'm afraid, by Garron Evans. Look at them all out there, and there was only one South African, but now there are more. Wyatt, Williams, John, tackle from Honeyball, fresh legs. Oh, and that's disappointing for Wales. Quickly taken by Swanepoel. This is Rousseau, the long ball to Skinstad. Looking for Hendricks, finds him. Williams makes a good tackle. Montgomery will get in for yet another try. Far too much pace and power for the unfortunate Welshman. South Africa up to 60 points.
Vinnige strafskop geneem en dan Pieter Rousseau wat die bal wyd versprei. Skinstad doen baie goed en McNeil Hendricks kyk hoe pragtig bly op sy voete daar. Gee die bal van Monty aan die buitekant. En in 'n reguit dressies gaan jy hom nie makliker op nie.
Well, just watch this. Mark Taylor is the centre for Wales, and he will come into picture as Monty puts the ball down. He didn't actually. He was just on the right-hand side, but he was level with Montgomery when Montgomery got the ball and then lost 4 meters on him over 40. Well, those kicks, he's just shaving by a meter here, left and right. With some of those, he now moves his points tally up to 20 for the night. Very strong by McNeil Hendricks. You see there Taylor is, he's actually ahead of Montgomery, and then Montgomery leaves him in the dust. Now, Gary Teichmann's going over to have a word with the referee.
21, Captain. Thank you.
And Gary Teichmann, for the first time that I can recall, is replaced and gets a huge ovation from the crowd. So Andy Aitken takes over. Erasmus Swanepoel, Honeyball Swanepoel. Nicely caught there by Hendricks. Taken on by Swanepoel. He's got Bobby Skinstad. Well, he just ran away from him a bit. Aitken's in the thick of things immediately. Swanepoel, Smith. Look how they skip past, and Snyman, who's set up a number of tries. This is Johan Erasmus. Smith, Rousseau, Smith again. Can he go all the way? Crainer Otto's on the outside. Crainer Otto! What does the referee say? Touchdown. That's the first try the big Springbok has scored in tests.
En as daar nou een man is wat 'n 3 verdien, dan is dit Crainer Otto vanaand. Maar hier sien ons fantastiese hanteerwerk. André Snyman, kyk hoe pragtig kry die bal weg. Johan Erasmus is by. Franco Smit. Rousseau, weer een Smit. En dan gooi hy basies net daai bal in die lug. Crainer Otto. Hy het reuse werk vanaand verrig en hy verdien daai 3. Daar raap hy die bal net voor Dalton weg.
Well, once again, you see those kicks are just missing. If Percy had kicked all his kicks tonight, he could have broken Gavin Johnson's record of 28. Snyman creates. You see 2 men to pull him down. Erasmus has been always on hand to continue the movements. Everybody is reveling in being able to handle with the possession that they've had, and a super moment for Crainer Otto.
Maar die Springbokke doen baie goed deur daai kort aangekkies weg te kry terwyl hulle in die doodvat is.
Well, Andrew Aitken, we also believe, has taken over the captaincy as Mike Griffith is rammed into touch by 2 Springboks. There's Andy Aitken, big moment for him.
Red, I want you across on the touchdown, please. Red, across on the
We have 18 minutes left. If this continues, all the record books are going to have to be changed. They will, certainly in terms of South Africa's encounters against Wales. Crano Otto still working hard. Dalton goes to ground to grab it. Swanepoel, Aitken. Chavez tries to turn it to Welsh advantage. John. Big tackle from Dalton.
Lost forward green, scrum red.
And I must say, Paddy O'Brien has really allowed good advantage in the game, has let the game run.
No.
Well, South Africa, this is the 3rd test that he's refereed South Africa in the last 12 months. It's been 52, 61 and now 65.
Stay six down.
Wyatt controlling at the back.
In die tussentyd sien ons van Naka Drotsky en Ollie Leroux wat ook warm maak.
Listen to me, listen.
En ek dink as hulle op die veld kom, dan sal die Springbokke seker al 2 in die voorry vervang het en 5 op ander posisies, dan soveel vervang as wat hulle kon.
Stay back here.
And we've hardly seen, in fact, I can't remember seeing a ball go down the Welsh backline, unlike now as Snyman again commits 2 men to the tackle as Garron Evans tries to get away.
You're off your feet, you leave it. Get on your feet before you play it.
Well, Garron Evans, his first test match tonight, and he must be thinking, what an opening, what a welcome to test rugby.
Ja, dit is aan die een kant, aan die ander kant kan dit ook seker nie slegter gaan nie. Hy kan hom daaraan troos.
Keep on it, eh? There's a few substitutions about doing any Paddy. Move. Yeah, wait. Green, stay.
Moore and Wyatt. Moore gets.
Stay on, Green, stay on.
Then taken on by Thomas. It's Nathan Thomas, the Bath flank forward. John, Arwell Thomas, Taylor.
Let it go. Off his feet.
Penalty right in front of the post. Decision time for Paul John, the number 9 scrum half. Arwell Thomas takes quickly. Little indication that he wanted John to run on his inside.
Let it go.
Again, Crano Otto makes a telling tackle. Dalton gets it for Swanepoel. Franco Smith. If that ball had bounced inside, there was only 1 Welshman back and 5 Springboks running up to the ball. And more replacements come on. Andre Watson, the man who holds the boards up and indicates that Naka Drotsky will now take note. James Dalton says, wait a moment. But Garron Jenkins is on. Didn't you play against Garron Jenkins, Uli?
Yes, I played against him. Ek het verlede jaar in Keith Andrews gedenkwedstryd ook teen hom gespeel.
So James Dalton, who's had a big game tonight, gives way to for Naka Drotsky, and Ollie Leroux comes on for Adrian Garvey. Andy Moore in the middle of the line out. John to Arwell Thomas, and then it was Garron Evans.
Master of the league, release it. We'll leave it. Thank you. Can't turn.
Erasmus gets it away to Drotsky now. Swanepoel to Fenta. Hendricks hasn't scored a try for South Africa. He hasn't, but now he will.
praat van sy krag en sy vaart. Pragtig sny na die binnekant toe, klop die eerste man, klop die tweede man. En die dekverdediging wat net te laat was om hom te keer. Maar van McNeil Hendricks ga jy nie naby die doellyn keer nie, hy is te sterk.
Well, the announcer, public address announcer, has just said that is McNeil Hendricks' first try in a test match for South Africa, and so he got a tremendous ovation. More concentration that time from Percy Montgomery, and it tells straight through the middle.
Klop in die man aan die binnekant, tweede man klop in die binnekant. Garen Jenkins hardloop verniet agterna, want McNeil Hendricks is baie vinniger as hy. Hy weet hy het sy eerste 3 gedruk. Pieter Rousseau, sy vleuelmaats, eerste dame om geluk te wens.
Isn't that a lovely moment? 72 points, the highest score that South Africa have scored was against Fiji, and I rather think it was certainly in the 70s. This is Aitken. But this could be the highest score by the end of the evening that South Africa have ever put on a test scoreboard as Aitken bursts away. Now Trainer Otto, McNeil Hendricks. Fenter was in there quickly, Swanepoel wants it. Now it's Honeyball. Franco Smith is tackled by Arwell Thomas, who only weighs 70 kgs.
Down, Green.
Respite for the desperate Wales defenders. I think they probably welcome the fact that there's a scrum.
New players in the front row, both sides.
Maar 'n middelscrum, baie opsies, pragtig breek Andy Aitken daar deur die verdediging. Kry nou Otto, hy speel 'n reuse wedstryd. En kyk net die ondersteuning, elke keer pragtig van agteraf, nie van die kante af nie, want as jy jou speler aan die kante ondersteun, is daar altyd 'n opponent wat tussenin kan kom, maar as jy van agteraf ondersteun, dan is dit net soveel beter.
So we now have, it's Andy Moore who's the man receiving attention, and I'm sure it's a welcome relief for most of his players. The entire Springbok bench is now on the field.
En wat meer belangrik is, hulle pas ook baie mooi in die spelpatroon in vanaand.
Aitken, Erasmus, Skinstad couldn't hold, but Trainer Otto, well, Uli said a couple of times that Trainer Otto is having a big game, and he certainly is. There's Bobby Skinstad, there's Trainer Otto.
Scrum's good, fellas. Thank you. Listen to me. Listen to me. Engage. Thank you. Stay there.
Thomas. Now Monty will counter-attack from here. Rousseau, Montgomery, Skinstad. Oh, lovely pass out to Andre Snyman, McNeil Hendricks. Crowd get up on their feet. Franco Smith, and did he get it down? Yes, he did, says Paddy O'Brien. And so Franco Smith gets his second try for the Springboks. And I rather feel that that is the highest score South Africa have ever scored in an international.
Ja nee, Wallis kan net nie meer al die gate toestop nie. Springbokke te fiks, te vinnig, te sterk. Hy kry baie oefening vanaand. Geslaag met 9 doelskoppe.
Well, he's now got 24 points. Look at Bobby Skin. See how he moves his hands through the tackle. Andre Snyman is so aware that Hendricks is outside. Lovely to see the feed inside from Hendricks. Narkodrotsky was right there. So was the referee. And the score now moves up to that incredible total. And we still have 9 minutes left in the game. Swanepoel trying to find the skip. Beautiful work there by Johan Erasmus. This is Ollie Leroux. He'll revel in the looseness of the game. Swanepoel tried. The idea was good. Wales offside. It was Taylor who was penalised. Swanepoel quickly. This is Erasmus. He doesn't have a try for his efforts tonight. Swanepoel, Drotsky. Again, 2 Welsh tacklers are committed. Swanepoel, Skinstad. Oh, so powerful is Bobby Skinstad. Can he find? Yes, he does. Franco Smith. And then it was just Duffy James who got in the way. And it's held on to by Duffy James, and South Africa get a penalty.
Wel, dit is die rede hoekom Mellet dalk vir Skinstad op senter wil speel. Kyk hoe pragtig kan hy hardloop.
South Africa crash on from the penalty. Swanepoel, Drotsky had a couple of men on his outside, but Swanepoel should get again. Gets it away to Aitken, and then I said Erasmus didn't have a try, but now he has one as well. I'm running out of paper, Willie.
Daai losgemaak tweede fase uitgekom na 'n strafskop wat gegee is deur teenballes. Dan het 'n loskram ontwikkel, weer eens na die steelkant gespeel. En Johan Erasmus, hy druk ook sy 3 vanaand.
Well, it's 13 tries to 1, and one can't but feel sorry, as they were saying earlier on. Alan Wilkins, in interview with Darren Scott, was saying that they left behind 19 of their best players, and it's certainly showing up here tonight.
Aitken na Johan Erasmus, en hy sit daai lang arm oor die doellyn. Maar wat goed is, is ons het al gesien in New Zealand se spanne, as hulle oorheers, dan druk hom sommer met 15-3, en ons Suid-Afrikaners kry baie keer ons opponente jammer, en vanaand verseker die bokke wat nie die Wallisers jammer kry nie, en hulle vryf behoorlik sout in hierdie wonde.
Aitken, Venter, driven on by Aitken again. Now it's Leroux. Every time he touches, the crowd roars. Swanepoel, Erasmus, Drotsky. Drotsky bursting through that initial Welsh line of defence. Swanepoel, Erasmus, lovely touch to Skinstad, gets it away to Erasmus. 4 times Johan Erasmus has now handled. Here he goes again. That's number 5. Honeyball gets into the action. Good defence by Wales, but Snyman has it. Swanepoel moving out here. They have plenty of overlap here. Aitken to Ollie Leroux. Ollie Leroux staying on his feet quite nicely. Drotsky. Aitken doing hard work, so is the Bobby Skinstad. Now it's Ollie Leroux. Fenty is on his shoulder. Then the pass from Rousseau, Swanepoel.
Win forward. Scrum.
Well, one must compliment, the Welsh, okay, they've given away 13 tries, but they've tackled. I've never seen a side having to make so many tackles.
Ja, gering tot matig vorentoe daar, maar ook daarna die bal laat val op die grond, vorentoe laat val. Daarom die skram vir die Wallisers. Ja nee, hulle probeer hulle beste, maar dis absoluut soos 'n Maltese hondjie wat teen 'n pitbull veg hierso.
Well, that's amazing. In fact, if we had a stat balls to the centre, I don't think it'd be much different to that, because Wales, Arwell Thomas has hardly passed the ball on the outside. Admittedly, it hasn't been very good ball, but they don't attack the gain line. And now you can see the reserve scrum half is David Llewellyn is on. He gets his first cap for Wales.
En wie dink jy is nou die kaptein van Wallis? Maak seker nie saak nie. Kapteinskap is nie nou so 'n groot kwessie nie, maar hulle het my gesê dat hierdie Llewellyn is 'n baie sterk man en hy sal ons losvoorspelers aanvat.
Well, he is from Eber Vale, where he partners Byron Hayward in the halfback, but here come the green jerseys again. Snyman, Skinstad, Bobby Skinstad will go all the way for his first try in a South African test match. He got a brilliant one against the French Barbarians in France, but now he gets his test try.
Goeie balbesit, agterspelers kry baie spasie om in te beweeg. Bal was binnekant toe aangegee, na Skinstad, hy verander van rigting, hardloop met vaart, en daar sien ons sy spoed. Nie eers die vleuel van Wallis kon hom ingehardloop het nie. Hy moes alle 3 gedruk het vanaand, met 'n oop doellyn aangeslaan, maar hierdie keer hulle hom nie.
And South Africa move into the 90s. We still have 4 minutes left. Montgomery now 24 points on the board for him tonight. Gavin Johnson, remember, has the record of 28. Look, there goes Skinstad. Another thrilling sight to behold. Pace, power. Duffith James tried for his life, but Skinstad was just too big and strong. Chris Wyatt, who's a really hard try, was onto the ball first.
Be really good, please, okay? Hold, wait for me. Engage. Thank you. It's gone down, up. Green. Fellas.
Well, it's a bad night in the valleys. Dennis John, the Welsh coach, what can he say?
Twist again.
Erasmus, Smith, Montgomery, Hendricks, Rousseau, then Montgomery. This is going to be try number 2 for Percy. Look at the pace. He's running away from the wingers. And that, in fact, sets up a South African record for points scored in a test match, breaking Gavin Johnson's record against West Samoa.
Percy Montgomery wat baie goed gedoen het. Dit was 'n lang moeilike aangee wat hy aanvanklik gevang het. Toe het hy na binnekant toe aangegee en hy het goed opgevolg ook. Basies 'n 3 wat hy gemaak het en 'n 3 wat hy afgerond het ook.
Gary Teichmann must be a very happy man tonight as the crowd gets into full voice with Ole, 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 Ole. This to make it over 30 points for Monty tonight. He can't do it. He has 29 and he could have shattered the record had he kicked all his kicks tonight. But he outstripped the winger Duffith James. There comes James into the picture. Desperate tackle. Well, now South Africa, the crowd are now baying for the 100 points as we have 1 minute left on the official scoreboard. If South Africa retain the possession from this, then it could be up to 100, and Wales certainly have never had 100 points against them, but they don't. It was well grabbed there by Geraint Lewis, who is now on the field. Llewellyn. Oh, and Arvold Thomas trying a drop kick. This is now Kodrotsky, now Johan Erasmus. His continuity has been fantastic tonight. Swanepoel, the Welsh were offside, says Paddy O'Brien. So it'll be taken quickly by Venter. Now it's Aitken. Takes another 3 men to stop him. Ollie Leroux. Venter is on his shoulder. Swanepoel. All the Springboks are lining up to handle this ball. Honeyball. Drotsky.